Why do Kessoku Band songs just hit different? Is it the angsty lyrics, the heroic guitar parts, the driving bass line, the explosive drums? Well, that's just it. It's not just one thing. It's the way all of those things work together. Kessoku Band songs aren't impressive because they're technical. They're impressive because they actually feel like the characters playing them. They're dynamic, emotional, anxious, barely contained. What makes these songs special isn't the genre. It isn't the guitar tone or even the bass tone. It isn't complexity or even simplicity. It's identity. Each part, each instrument feels like it could only be played by that character. And that's what I tried to capture when I started writing the song that you heard at the beginning of this video. Let's start with the rhythm guitar. Kita almost never settles for simple power chords. Instead, a lot of the time you'll hear 7th chords, diminished chords, open voicings that feel slightly unstable. Her chords not only support the song, but they shape the emotional direction. So when I wrote this track, I started there. I liked the idea of having the bulk of the chordal catalogue in the song contain 2 notes that never move. This creates a lot of emphasis on tension and release. But for this song, I just had to play these parts on a Telecaster. Next comes Hitori. She never simply doubles the rhythm guitar. She weaves and dances around it, if anything. Her guitar lines respond to the chords, reinforcing tension, then releasing it. They're melodic, they're bouncy, they do show technical ability, but here's the important part. They don't feel flashy. They almost feel like someone's trying to prove something. She wants approval, but she doesn't necessarily want to stand in the spotlight, so her guitar becomes her voice. When I wrote the lead parts for this song, I avoided long show-off solos. Instead, I focused on reoccurring melodic phrases, pentatonic double stops, tremolo picking, secondary melodies through octave chords. Technical, but emotionally driven. Now Rio. Her bass doesn't just sit on the root note. She leans into the notes that make the chords emotional, whether it be the 3rd, the 5th, the 7th, or even the 9th. The bass doesn't just follow the guitar, it creates its own path. It adds attitude and sets the tone for the song. It lays the motion underneath everything, reinforcing the emotional color that Kita has already set up on the rhythm guitar. Nijika. Her drumming is not about showing off, it's about controlling the energy. The kick and snare have a huge influence on the song's sense of progression. If the hook has a certain kick snare pattern, then it needs to change in the next section and the next section after that. The hi-hat also contributes to this. In sections where the volume needs to be reined in a touch, close the hi-hat. In the chorus where the song needs to explode, open the hi-hat. And in sections where it needs to keep the listener guessing where we're going, use shells more than cymbals. The drums need to control the mood shift in each section. And finally, the vocals. A lot of Kessoku Band's lyrics come from Hitori's perspective. They are insecure, introspective, sometimes painfully honest. But what's most important is the contrast. The melodies are fast, hyper-melodic, confident in projection.
Days have passed me by for far too long. The solitude has been dressed as comfort. The sun had chased, there's no burn in my eyes.
Bocchi's lyrics are insecure, yet the melodies stand front and center. So in my song, I leaned into a darker lyrical theme, but framed it with energetic, forward-moving vocal lines. Emotionally fragile, yet musically explosive. And when you bring all of this together, expressive chords, melodic but restrained guitar work, colourful bass movement, dynamic drums, anxious lyrics wrapped in melody, with this formula, you don't just get a rock song. You get a story, something relatable, something alive. That is what makes Kessoku Band songs hit different. But understanding the formula is one thing. Actually writing something that feels like Kessoku Band is another. Because if it's too polished, it stops feeling like Bocchi. If it's too technical, it stops feeling like a high school band. So the goal wasn't to win the musical Olympics, it was authenticity. For this song, I wanted the structure to be ever-changing. No section simply repeats itself 100%. The guitar hook tails off with different melodies each time. The mood changes with each verse, the second chorus is replaced by a shredding guitar solo. It needed to mirror an emotional roller coaster. And that ultimately brings us to this. It's not just a rock song, it's a very real story from my recent life, filtered through everything I love about this style of music. But most importantly, it was a lot of fun. This song is called I'm Fine. Here is the anime cut.